Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. I'm not expecting a huge crowd today because of the date, and that's the topic of the conversation. I need to mute this. I'm trying something different today where I'm going live on Instagram and all the other places. I'm supposed to mute my Instagram, but I don't know how to do that on my desktop. So, can you guys still hear me now that I just turned my volume up on the keyboard? Give me a thumbs up, everybody, if you can still hear me. I can check on my phone. Okay, cool. So I wanted to talk about how to do your best and thrive during the holiday season. As someone who has owned a salon for 34 years and has done hair even longer than I've ruined more than enough holidays for especially myself, but sometimes also my family. Squeezing in clients, staying super late, doing all the things to make everyone else happy literally ruined and destroyed me and my holidays. I was sick almost every year. I would get some sort of flu because we all know that our clients come in and say to us, "Oh, I'm so sick. I left work sick, but I wasn't gonna miss this appointment. As soon as, you're done here, I gotta go home and go to bed." So you're like, "Thank you. You're gonna bring that to me, and now I'm going to bring that to my entire family." And so it went for a long, long time. So I wanted to share with you 5 tips that I would do differently now that I can look back. You know the saying, hindsight is 2020, and it's never been more true than stepping away from behind the chair. I've been away from behind the chair for 5 years. So when when I'm on forums and people write in questions and they give these examples of things they're stressing over, to me, it's so crystal clear that it's them that can make it all go away instantly just simply by putting up a boundary. But I couldn't see it either when I was in it. We're people pleasers. And we love people. We love to please. We want to make everybody happy. We want to make sure that everybody goes to their holiday parties looking great. But take a peek in the mirror. I guarantee your roots aren't done. Your nails aren't done. There's nothing beautiful about you right now. You're exhausted living on pretty much coffee and sometimes coffee and cigarettes. I was never a smoker, but I know that's a popular thing in the hair community. I know it used to be back in the day. I don't know if it still is. But my point is, everything about your life is completely up to you and always has been. And I don't know when and where it became put everyone before yourself because that's being selfish. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. Self care is important to your health, to your emotional state, to your family, to your relationships, to all of the things. So this morning, when I was getting ready to go live, I was like, it's a little bit like Dorothy and Wizard of Oz. As a kid, everyone watched The Wizard of Oz, myself included. I'm still terrified of that witch, by the way. Anytime I see her in a picture, I immediately get that drop in my stomach, and I am more than old enough to not be afraid of that woman. It's something about the green makeup just gets me every time. But I never ever, as many times as I watched that movie, I never understood the real lesson in it and the meaning behind, who the Scarecrow is, who the Tin Man is, who Oz is, all of those things. I never really got that until I read the book, The Wizard of Oz, and it was a completely different explanation. Same thing with Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, I thought was just an adorable bear with adorable characters, but as an adult, looking back, I realized the messages and the lessons in Winnie the Pooh, and it was through reading the book, The Tao of Pooh, great little book, T-A-O of Pooh. But, again, hindsight is 2020, right? I now understand that Dorothy thought that she needed all of these people on her journey to Oz to try to figure out the answers when they were always inside of her, and it's the same thing with you as a hairstylist. I see people blame the boss, blame the company culture if they're working for a corporate salon. They blame, their spouse, their need to do something for their kids. It's always the blame game, but in the end, right now in my life, every choice I make is my choice and mine only. I no longer have employees right now that I have to deal with daily, so I can wake up and say, "What is the best use of my time today? How can I serve? How can I help, you know, take care of things for everyone and everything, but also myself?" If I wake up, like right now, my back is totally out of whack, I can say, "You know what? I'm gonna make an appointment to get a massage tomorrow." And I can do that because I now understand, now that my body is completely broken from years of serving and putting everyone first, everything hurts because I stood on my feet for 12 hours a day, every single day for 30 plus, 35 years. And thought that I was, I'm like, "Oh, I love it. I love it." Where's my next client after 12 hours, you know? It just became a way of life, and it's not normal, and it's not necessary. So 5 ways that you can thrive right now in this busy, busy time and not run yourself down and get sick for the holidays. Number 1, hydrate. When I now know what amount of water is necessary for good health, it's supposed to be your body weight divided by 2 is the minimum, and for every caffeinated beverage that you add in there, you need to add another glass of water to make up for the caffeinated beverage. So if you're fueling yourself, which I was so guilty of this my whole entire hair career, all I drank all day was coffee because I had to work for 12 hours and I had to stay awake. But we all know as coffee drinkers that 3, 4 o'clock crash is a very normal way of life where you're like, "Oh my gosh, I either need to curl up and take a nap," which isn't happening when you have clients in the book, or I need more caffeine. So it's this endless cycle. I am caffeine free now and have never felt better. I never thought I'd be able to say that, but there's no way I'm going back to that madness, that like spike and crash. So hydrate at least 50% of your body weight. If you weigh, 140 pounds, 70 ounces of water every single day. Now, as a woman of my age who gets up to go to the bathroom 8 million times a night, I've learned recently that you should get all of your water in before sunset. Never happens. I get most of my water in at night. If I'm watching television, I force myself to have water, so that's why I'm up all night going to the bathroom. But I was really bad. I can't even imagine how much my body hurt from dehydration because I was not drinking water. Just wasn't. I would wake up in the morning, first thing I drank was coffee with caffeine, get to the salon, make another coffee, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, send somebody out to Starbucks for an iced coffee. It was just coffee, 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 and, everything's dehydrated. So the reasons for hydration other than staying alive: improved concentration. Hydration enhances cognitive function, helping hairstylists stay focused on intricate tasks and client preferences. Better energy levels. Proper hydration maintains your energy, crucial for hairstylists who often work long hours and need stamina. Enhanced creativity. It supports brain function, fostering creativity and innovative hairstyling ideas. Healthy hair and skin. My chin, I have this area in my chin that's so dehydrated, and I think it was from years of not drinking water that I can't drink enough water to plump that back up, and it drives me crazy. So don't let that happen to you. If you are a young stylist, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Reduced fatigue. It helps prevent fatigue, allowing you to sustain your performance throughout the day. Temperature regulation. In a salon setting where temperature and humidity can vary, staying hydrated aids in maintaining body temperature and comfort. How many of you are in a salon that you're constantly dueling over the temperature? For me, I was underneath, we had special lighting in our color room for true picture of what the color looked like. They run very hot, and I would always say, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm under the french fry heater at McDonald's, french fries hot." It was right over my head, and I was also entering into menopause at the same time, so you can imagine I was hot all the time. So all of my 20-something stylists were freezing, and all of my clients were freezing because they're sitting there with a wet head. So if I just had hydrated myself better, I wouldn't have to freeze everyone out of the salon. And the last thing is joint and muscle support. So I always had achy knees, thinking, oh, I'm just standing for too long, but it was dehydration. My bones are like scraping against, themselves with no lubrication. It's common sense, but when you're in it and you're busy, you're like, I don't have time to pee, so I can't drink all this water. So it's crazy what we do to our bodies. And number two, again, is so simple. I've watched my coworker, who is my right hand person, who's an amazing colorist. She is so healthy and always packs her food and brings things because she knows herself. She knows if she gets busy and clients bring in a tray of cookies, that's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're all guilty of it. So prepare for that. Bring in healthy snacks. We live on coffee and gum. We drink the coffee to stay awake, and then we put the gum in our mouth because we don't want to have coffee breath for our clients. But where is the nut? A handful of nuts, almonds, cashews, walnuts, pecan, any kind of nut, great for energy. A hard-boiled egg is easy to bring. Have a little bag of hard-boiled eggs in the refrigerator at the salon. When you're ravenous and you're putting the client, popping them under a dryer or putting a conditioning treatment on them, it takes 12 seconds to put a hard-boiled egg in your mouth. So it doesn't have to be this extreme, like, beautiful salad that you did, 5 days before and have all your little things in separate containers. No. It can be a hard-boiled egg and nuts. It can be a smoothie that you made the night before. It can be overnight oats. I used to do that when I would plan ahead. But I would get so mad at myself on the days that I didn't plan ahead because in our salon, it would take literally an hour for everyone to agree on where we're ordering from, right? If you're in a salon, that's a thing. So first it was where do we all want to get it from? Who's going to deliver the quickest? What can I eat the quickest where I can't sit down, which is such a disgrace that we do that to ourselves, that we don't even sit and eat our food. We really don't taste it or enjoy it. It's just like survival. So be prepared and pack those healthy snacks. You will feel so much better at the end of the day. Your body will run better because it has the right fuel, it has the water, it has the healthy snacks, and resist the urge to keep eating the sugar because we all know that's a rebound thing too. Once you have the sugar, you crave more sugar, and it's an endless cycle of sugar. This one I'm gonna get a little slack on because we all have, our certain style that we like to put forward, especially for our clients. Clients look to us because their hairstylist or someone they look up to for style and fashion and being up to date. It's really difficult to look adorable and feel good as far as shoes. So this is something I fought my whole entire career. I was like, I am not wearing sneakers or any kind of tennis shoe. It's not professional. I have to wear shoes. So I would get like the most comfortable boots in the winter. What's the brand that I got that's really, really comfortable? I'm blanking on it now. Soft. It's like SOFTT or SOFFT, something like a soft brand with great boots. And then I would do an insert inside for extra support. But the summer was really tough because you want to wear little sundresses, you want to wear skirts, you want to, be cool because it's really hot and you're moving a lot in the salon. So the summer was always difficult. So I managed to find a pair of shoes from Dansko that were more of an open, strappy, almost like a Mary Jane. But let's face it, it did not look pretty or cool. But my back and knees thanked me for it, and it made a huge difference. So stop putting fashion over comfort because trust me when I tell you, if I started at the top of my head and went down to my feet, my husband just said it last night. He's like, if we kept a journal of all the weird ailments that you've had over the years, and it's all from our career. How many of you heard the ads on the radio? If you use chemical relaxers of this brand, and this brand, there's a class action lawsuit of it creating some kind of cancer. I'm like, great. So what about the hairstylists that applied all of those chemical relaxers? So we have given our bodies, our souls, and our lives to this industry. It's time to pull back and start putting yourself and your health first. So take care of those feet. If you start seeing your toes getting a little crooked, which it's too late for mine, but they start to turn a little bit from wearing all those pointy shoes, do something about it. Go to a podiatrist, see what you can do. There's little toe spacers that you can put in there to try to straighten them back out. Bunions are coming your way from, tight shoes and wearing the wrong shoes all those years. And bunion surgery, I hear, is like worst possible pain you can imagine, so that's not happening. I have bunionettes. My bunions are on my baby toe, not my big toe, so they're called bunionettes. I was like, "What the heck is this heart thing?" I went to the doctor, I'm like, "What is this heart thing?" He's like, "They're bunions." I'm like, "Bunions?" And I think I was in my 40s. I'm like, "My grandma has bunions. She's like 85." So be ready, prepare, and avoid. Number 4, this is the hardest thing for us to do, especially us type A people that like to do things ourselves. Control Freaks Anonymous, I'm gonna start a group for help. So look ahead and look at your schedule, and you know you're gonna be slammed in the salon. You know you're gonna be super busy. This is not a surprise. It's the week of Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever, stage you're in of holiday madness. And yet we act shocked and surprised when it's, like, insane, and we're out of foil, and we just took the last glove, and we're, like, scrambling, and we're sweating, and all the things, and, just asking for help. Reach out to your local beauty schools. People don't reach out to their local beauty schools until they are desperate for help in hiring someone to be an assistant, and by then, all the good ones are taken because they've taken it upon themselves to go get a job somewhere, and they've been proactive about it. So what you're going to get when you reach out last minute is the people that don't show up for class, that are there for 2 years instead of 9 months because they keep calling out or they're getting high on lunch and all of the things. You're not gonna get the cream of the crop if you wait to do that. But establish a relationship with your local beauty school so that you can reach out to them during holiday time and say, "Can I please have a student come and help me out and just sweep the floor, fold the towels, do a couple shampoos?" It's a win-win. It's awesome for you to stay on time and get that help, but it also is awesome for them to see what a day in the life at the salon is like, because I promise you, I know in my salon life was completely, totally different than beauty school. So it's good for them to see that, if they have their head in the book and they're learning a lot of things about pin curls and all the things that they're probably not going to use in the real world, it's good for them to see what lies ahead and how exciting it can be and how being with all those people and the energy of a busy salon is indescribable to someone who's never experienced it. It's amazing. I love it. So ask for help, bring them in, get the help, even if it's temporary. It's definitely a win-win and makes a big difference in your day. And last but not least, pre-book for January. We're so busy at this time of year, surviving our day and just getting through with our no food, caffeine fueled, madness. We're not looking ahead at how quiet and slow January notoriously is. If I were to look back at the last 35 years, if I had my appointment book and I go back, January 1st to the 8th is the slowest week in our salon every year since I opened in 1989. It's just a thing. So this year, my daughter, who now has my salon, said, "You know what? We're closing. We're closing the salon. We're giving this staff off. They need, the time to recoup and actually enjoy a holiday and be with their children." So we decided to close, but you don't have to be that extreme. Just plan ahead. And one recommendation that I give to my members of my Hair Color Secrets Insiders is offer the gift. A lot of people are buying calendars, those little pocketbook calendars that nobody uses anymore because they have an iPhone or an Android and they have a calendar on there. So don't spend money on that type of gift. Give the gift a custom conditioning treatment. We had to print it on little pieces of paper. You can make them red or green or festive or sparkly or whatever you want to do. But print it on regular paper. We rolled it into one of those little scrolls that looks like a graduation, certificate. Tied one of those curly ribbons around it, and we had them hanging on a tree at the front desk. And when every client left, we said, "Happy holidays to you and your family. Please take a gift off the tree. We look forward to seeing you at your next appointment." And we always make a point to say, "I need to see you in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks," whatever their, normal time period is that they come. Have a piece of paper next to you at your station where the night before, look and see, like, Carol usually comes every 5 weeks on a Tuesday, so have that date ready on a piece of paper. It's all about preparation. So that when Carol's leaving, you say, "Carol, you're due to come in on January 12th," whatever the date happens. Does that still work for you, January 12th at 4 o'clock? Because 4 o'clock is her usual time. They so appreciate that you made that decision for them. It's not pushy, it's not salesy, it's not weird. It's great customer service that they don't even have to think. 'Cause trust me, they're bolting out the door with their little scroll. They don't even have time to open what their gift is. They're getting in their car and they're running to 3 other stores to get last minute hostess gifts for people's homes that they have to go to that they don't want to go to, but they feel obligated. You know how it is. And then they have to pick up little Johnny at his, outdoor soccer game where it's 40 below, chilly, cold, and you have to sit there and watch them. So they're busy. They don't want to stand there and take 10 minutes to book their next appointment. But I promise you, when January 12th rolls around and they see they have that appointment, they are so grateful that you took the time to make it for them. Because think about the normal routine, right? Carol gets up to the desk and you say, Carol, would you like to make your next appointment? Oh, no, I'll call, right? They all say that. Oh, no, I'll call or I'll book online. And then life happens. Life happens. They're looking in the mirror one morning. I'm this person and I own a damn hair salon and I've been doing this for 35 years. You look in the mirror and you're like, crap, I need my roots done. And then you scramble and you push to get an appointment that's not there, causing another hairstylist or your coworker, whoever does your hair, to put down their boundaries and do something they don't want to do to squeeze you in. So you're doing the client a favor because then you get into the whole, if they do go to book, you say, okay, 5 weeks from today is blah, blah, blah. And they go, oh, you know what? Melissa has a dance recital that day. That's not going to work. And then and they start telling you all of their to-do list, right? Have you had that happen? I know I have. I know more about what Melissa's schedule than I do of my own kids. So they feel like they have to keep giving you all of the reasons why they can't come on that date that you've suggested. It's completely unnecessary and can be completely avoided by you having that date right there. And you say, Melissa, January 12th works great for me. How's that for you? Yes, no, done. Now you don't have a slow January. The scroll, my ADD is cooking in. The scroll says, thank you for being a loyal client of Lux Color Lounge. We appreciate you. Happy holidays. Our gift to you is a customized conditioning treatment at your next color appointment in January. Offer valid January 1st to whatever. You can do the 1st to the 15th, 1st to the 30th. I don't know how many days are in January, but you can make it however many dates you want. But what it does is if that client was going to push it off to February, she's going to think twice about pushing it off because she has this gift that's only valid in January. Here's where it gets better. 85% of the people that we gave that gift to, because we tracked the metrics of it, asked for the conditioning treatment at every single color appointment after we gave them that gift. So it was something that they had not experienced before. It's a $30 value. We would normally charge $30 for this treatment. The actual materials might cost us $3, $4 at the most. So it's a win-win. We expose them to a brand new treatment they've never had before. They really liked it and saw a difference in how their color lasted, how their hair felt. A lot of people don't like to condition their hair every time they wash. I'm one of those people. I have fine hair. So if I condition every single time, my hair won't hold a curl. It looks dirty within 12 hours of washing, but I can't get that second day grit in there. So they see a difference with our customized treatment in the salon that's made to last from color to color instead of conditioning every single time. So the appreciation for that gift, when I tell you, I've done it all. I've done Christmas ornaments. I've done, $10 off. I've done all of the things. This was the most beneficial to both the recipient and the gifter, to us and to them. We got residual income for an entire year out of that gift. So I highly recommend getting creative that way if you want to make your clients feel special. Personally, I don't think that we have to give our clients anything because if you're giving great service all year long, you're the service provider. You're the one that they should be bringing cookies and, cash and all the things to because you're providing them a service. Like I went to my nail girl and I give my nail girl the amount that I spend on my nails every 2 weeks. I give her that as a holiday gift. That I know being on the other side of it, how much I appreciated that extra cash. One year I was able to take all of my Christmas cash that I got from clients, and I was able to send one of the children at my kid's school that could not afford to go on the senior trip to Disney. I was able to send anonymously a child on a trip to Disney for a week with the money that I got from client gifts. So, for me, I'm always someone who gives back. I love to help other people that don't have anything, and I would hate to see any kid miss a trip with their entire senior class just because their family can't afford it and can barely afford the clothes on their body. So, really dig deep and remember what this holiday season is really about, because I know for me, standing behind the chair, I really got lost in a lot of what it is not, chaos, um, craziness, running behind, flat tires. I remember when I worked at my first job, I had to work Christmas Eve until 7 o'clock. I look back and I think, "God, why did I put up with that?" But I did. It was my first job. I was like, "It's my job. I'm gonna get fired if I don't show up." And my husband now was my boyfriend at the time, and I was so excited. It was our first Christmas together. I was gonna be with his family and my family, first gifts, all those firsts. And I was exhausted driving home from working, 9 AM to 7 PM on Christmas Eve. So unnecessary. And I'm driving home and I get a flat tire and it's snowing. And I'm just sitting in my car just crying. What was supposed to be such a special night and such a milestone thing of our first Christmas. I couldn't wait to give him his gift. I'm sure he couldn't wait to give me mine. And I called my dad because I was still living at home. I was in my 20s. Dad was always the hero. I called my dad. And of course, we didn't have cell phones then. So the phone's ringing, ringing, ringing at the house. He's not answering. And then I call my husband. Like, "I broke down, I have a flat tire, it's snowing, I'm cold, blah, blah, blah," and he's like, "I'll be right there." And my dad and my husband both showed up at the same time to change my tire. So, in retrospect, it was a pretty special moment. It was like the baton is being handed from dad to boyfriend, future husband. It all worked out in the end, but it really did ruin a lot of Christmases, being sick, bringing home things from clients, not gifts, sickness that I then gave to my husband or one of my children. One of us was always sick at every holiday because the salon is a meeting place and everybody's coming with all their germs from the mall and their kids' school and all of the things. And it's just, I look back and I really realize how different it could have been. I could have been more prepared. I could have been better hydrated. I could have been better fueled with food and healthier choices. So take the lesson from me and take care of the body that you still have and take the time for yourself because it's one day a year. And I always would tease my clients. I'm like, you've known that Christmas was December 25th. You've known that Hanukkah is whatever date it falls. Like, you know this way ahead of time. So you not having an appointment really isn't my problem. It's kind of your problem. I didn't say it mean. I was just like, you did know that this date has been on your calendar for your whole life. Like, get better prepared. And we've always offered the, 2 appointments before. We're like, make sure you book your holiday appointments. We get booked up. There's only so many spots on the calendar. So let it go. They're not gonna die if they have gray roots on Christmas Day. They chose to not make the appointment. Don't make it about you. Don't make it your fault. Don't think that the client's gonna leave you if you don't squeeze them in. If they do, they weren't your client. They weren't your person. So I hope that these tips help you. I hope that you survive the rest of this year and again into New Year's Eve and all the festive things for that. Just have those boundaries, protect yourself, hydrate yourself, wear the comfortable shoes, and pre-book those guests. Have an amazing holiday season, whichever holiday you are celebrating. I celebrate with you, and I'm sending you love and hugs and all the things for a wonderful, healthy holiday.